Good afternoon, happy stampers, and welcome to my happy stamping studio. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and today we're going to be using our March product of the month. Several of you have asked me to show you a card with it, so I am doing that. So this is the cute stamp set. In addition, we are using the beautiful Ordinary Life 12 by 12 designer series paper released in the new catalog. So this pattern paper is really bright colors on one side, and then the backs are all black and white. So I'm using that pattern there. I'm also going to be using this stripe pattern, but look at this. This you can color in multiple ways, you guys. We'll be doing a card with using that side soon. This is probably my favorite sheet out of this. I just love this watercolor look, the sky look. And here's the back side of that one. Oh, I should have pulled these out first. Then we have this pattern, which is really cool, and the black and white on that side. UB lovers are going to love this next one. It's like a beehive, this bright yellow, and then the black and white on the back side. And then our last pattern is this beautiful polka dot pattern, and the back is these black and white arrows. Now the colors in this paper are basic black, daffodil delight, flirty flamingo, lemon lolly, lost lagoon, petal pink, pool party, pretty peacock, real red, and timid tiger. But aren't these great? I just love these. These make me happy. We're going to be using these in quite a few cards in the future. But let's get them out of the way for right now. We're going to be using our watercolor pencils today. We're going to use a blending pen, our Memento ink, and then we're going to accent it with some twine, which I've already lost. And these new sparkle, sunset sparkle sequins. Those add a really cute touch also. Sorry. So I have this pack of twine also. Put everything on this side so I have it handy. Get this stuff all over to the side. So we're going to start with our papers. So I have Flirty Flamingo as the base. It's a basic 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of cardstock. I'm going to score it with our scoring blade at 4 1/4. So your scoring blade is the light gray blade, you guys. I'm going to score that in half. I've already cut my designer series paper, and be sure to go to my blog, judystamps.com, to find out all the measurements. I do need to cut this piece yet. And so that was 4. So I want to do this at 4 inches also. And this is Lost Lagoon. I just chose colors that are in the papers, you guys. So you could do any color you want. We also need some basic white, which I forgot. So hang on. Oh my gosh. Can you believe I forgot the basic white? Grab a couple of pieces here. We are going to need a piece for the inside of our card, measuring 4 by 5 1/4. How has your spring been so far, you guys? Oh, our weather has been gorgeous. A lot of rain, though. You guys been getting a lot of rain by you? Hey, Jude. How are you? Not much. It's raining outside again today. Okay, then I need to cut a piece. I'm going to cut this one at 2 inches. How are you doing today? I cut that 2 by 2 3/4. I think that'll be big enough. I'm just guesstimating my sizes. You guys know me. Thank you for joining me today. We've got several of you here in Facebook. We have several of you over on YouTube. So you guys know I come on both places at the same time under the same name, Judy Stamps. so you can watch me anywhere. Be sure to say hello in the comments so I know you watched. And let me know if you've gotten your catalog yet. For all those of you that have ordered from me in the last 3 months, your catalog should be delivered to you. If you have not received your catalog yet, make sure you send me a note so I know. We are going to need one more piece of white, you guys. And I think this is going to be big enough. So I'm going to cut that at 3/4 of an inch. I think that's going to be enough for our things. So get that out of the way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our little goose. Now, I am choosing to stamp this in Memento ink. We do have a new ink pad, which is a hybrid that you can use for water base or your alcohol inks, you guys. Today I'm just using our Memento ink. It's my favorite black. I do have the new ink pad. I have not tried it out yet. Now we're going to take our watercolor pencils. And so we're going to look for colors that are similar to what we have in our paper. I am going to use the Crushed Curry instead of the Daffodil Delight. Got our Crushed Curry here. I do have both packs of pencils. And then I'm going to pick out our orange. And then I'm going to do, oh, I don't think I want the Old Olive. I think I'm going to go with the Granny. Oops. It's probably in my other pack. We're going to go with the Old Olive, you guys, because that's what Judy has in her thing. So when I color with my watercolor pencils, I will, this looks brown, doesn't it, you guys? But it is Crushed Curry, believe me. I go in circles and I go lightly. And I do leave white spots. And I go around first with my pencil for the first coloring. And the top of the head is going to be a little bit lighter. So I'm forming my shadows here, you guys, just by the coloring. So I've gone from the bottom of the cheek to the back of the neck, to the bottom of his belly, to underneath the wing, and around the wing. Okay, now where I want it a little bit darker, I'm going to go in and I'm going to press a little bit harder and I'm going to do straight strokes. Okay, I want a little bit darker down here and under its wing right here. Okay, now I'm going to take my pumpkin pie and I'm going to do its beak. Do you guys like using watercolor pencils? I love using them because they can give you some different effects in your, and you can control the coloring a little bit more. Now, I am going to add just a little bit of pumpkin pie to the bottom of the belly here, just for a little bit of color difference. Now, we could leave it as it is, or we can take our blend pen. So it's up to you. If you decide, I'm doing the ground here because we don't want them floating in the air, right? I'm kind of causing a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to do it darker in some spots. This is going to be its shadow a little bit, and then a little bit lighter. Now, I could leave it just like this, okay? But I am going to take my blender pen. Now, this is, we call this the pen of many colors, or instead of getting water-based markers, you can use this with your ink pads also. Now, the trick to this is don't forget that your Memento ink is a water-based ink. So it will blend the black, okay, because Memento is water-based. So very lightly, I'm hardly touching this at all. I'm just going to blend this out a little bit to give it a little bit of a watercolor effect. I'm not touching the black a lot. Okay, and I'm pulling that color out. Wipe it off a little bit, and then I'm going to go down here and just pull this out a little bit across, and it's going to give you a little bit of shadowing, very light, bringing that color out. Okay, now I am going to pick up a little bit of the pumpkin pie right here, directly on my blender pen, you guys. And I'm going to go into its cheeks, and I want to make cheeks. because you guys know all my animals have cheeks. I'm going to wipe off some of that pencil and fade that out just a little bit. Be careful, don't touch its eye too much. Okay, so we've got that. That's all done. You guys are going to find this is a very quick layout. We're going to take and fold on that score line. And guess what? I left my bone folder on the other side again. I have not had my bone folder for weeks, you guys. Crazy, crazy, crazy Judy. Okay, so we're going to take our pattern papers and we're going to start laying them out on our card. We can put these in several different configurations. We could do it this way. We could add these this way. And then I could add this up here if I wanted. I could turn this way and do it like this. I could flip those two around. I could do it this way also, which would create more of a border around our image there. But I'm going to flip this. I am going to do it vertically instead of horizontally. So let me grab my liquid glue and we're going to put our strip on first. I'm going to have this in the background. Let's hope Judy picked up her right glue, the one that's not almost empty. Okay, look how those colors just pop on this Flirty Flamingo. You could do this as a white base also, you guys, if you wanted. Now what I want to do is I want to actually do a little offset on this. So I'm going to offset this a little bit. So this is actually going to sit on like that. So I'm going to take and put adhesive on these two pieces. Now I'm not going to put it onto the card. I'm actually going to hold it like this and decide how I want that on there. So I want to bring that up. Now these two pieces are the same size. So by bringing it up, you're going to have a little bit of an opening at the bottom here. And it's going to be a little bit taller. Okay, now we can take our adhesive and put it on here. Just like this. Okay, I could even do it this way if I wanted. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it this way, just to be different. I like the way that Lost Lagoon hits up against those stripes. It kind of sets those two apart. Okay, so now we have our piece here. And we are going to put this on to here, like this. So we're going to adhere that directly onto that piece. You could choose to raise it, but I am actually going to raise my sentiment. And I'm going to center this on that piece. Okay, so now we have that little 3/4 inch piece. And we need to do our sentiment. So let's grab our ink again, our Memento ink. And let's grab our sentiment. And I am going to do a little note of thanks. I go through a lot of thank you cards, you guys. I send thank you cards out for orders, for my painting orders. I give thank you cards to our mail person. Just going to put this right up here in the center. Excuse my head if it's in the way. Okay, right like that. Now, this is where I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to pop that sentiment up. This is going to make that stand out a little bit more. Give your card some interest. And it's a very simple way. Now, you could have just stamped a note of thanks on here, but I like adding a couple extra layers just for that extra interest. Now we're going to take our twine. And I am thinking I'm going to take the black twine for this. Little pop of black on every card, right? You guys, you know that's what I say a lot. Black will make your projects pop. I'm going to tie it. It's okay that the tail's like that. Now I'm going to pull that tail down. So that's how you can make those sweet little bows you see. And I know several of you that are watching say, oh no, we just have Judy make our bows. Here in my in-person classes, they're always making me make the bow. Okay, so we're going to add that right down here to the base. So I'm going to be putting just a little dot of glue. A little dot of glue goes a long way, you guys. You don't want too much because then it'll squirt out, because it does spread out a little bit. And we're just going to add the knot of the bow right over that dot. Okay, we're going to let that set a minute while we open up our beautiful sunset sparkle sequins. This is another new product that's in our new catalog. Now we can pick any of these colors. Do you guys have a preference of which color I use? What do you think? I think that's a little bit too orangey. I think this either, oops, that chat is sticking, static. Either these or these. You guys have number 1 or number 2? Let me know. Which do you like better? Number 2? Okay, we'll go with number 2. So let me get my take your pick tool. Look at it's full of paint too. I use this take your pick tool for everything. I use it in my paint projects to open up. I'm going to put one here to open up my paint bottles. Okay, and we want to do a triangle. Okay, and remember, you can put more on here if you want. I'm going to put this one down here. So that forms our triangle. So it brings your eye around to everything. You want to do your embellishments in odd numbers. You want to do 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, try not to do even numbers and have them go around your design to bring your eye around. Now we do have the inside yet, and we're going to go ahead and decorate the inside too. So I want to stamp our goose again, and we're just going to put her in the corner down here. Stamp her down here, and we're going to color her real quick again. So let's just get our crushed curry. You see how quickly this goes. This time, I'm not going to blend it. I'm just going to leave it colored. Let's go up. And a little bit darker in those shaded areas. Bring that down. That's a little bit too streaky for me, so I'm going to go over with my circles again. Bring it up. Get our pumpkin pie, do her beak. We can put a little cheek on there. This one's going to be a little bit lighter because we're not using the blender pen. And a little bit of color. I'm going to add a little bit to her wing. Okay, we have to ground her too. We don't want her flying or walking in the air. They do fly, right? But we don't want her walking in the air. And let's just drag that out just a little bit more. Now I'm going to go in dark where I want the shadow. Just like that. Okay, let's open our card up. Let's move this all out of the way. We're going to open our card up and finish this card off. Now, you could put another sentiment in the inside. You could just write your little note to the inside. So, I've made another card similar to this. I'm going to share it with you. We did this in my card class. And we used some of the, it's my favorite floral designer series paper out of the old catalog. And you'll see I used different colors. I added some elements down here. I just went with 2 here. But look at the two different colors. Look at the two different looks. So if your designer series paper has more solid color in it, which I could have chosen out of my pack, I went with a white base. On this one, my designer series paper had a lot of white in it, so I used the color base. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Enjoy that little sneak peek of one of the cards we did in my card club. And until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping.